Welcome to our first podcast event, Connect Specials.
In the building.
Hustle hard.
Yes, that time right now.
I'd like to introduce everybody. Anu, Nate, Keisha, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good. We got some people that might be arriving. And hopefully we can chop it up with them when they come. But right now, let's talk about life.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk about thug life, in fact.
Ooh.
Like, are we living it? Is this what we're in right now? Is this the world that we're in?
I think you got to break it down for them a little bit. I think you got to break it down for them.
1996.
What do you mean by what is thug life?
Tupac died, but before he did, he came out with a motto, anagram.
So for the young listeners that don't know who Tupac is.
Tupac was a rapper that literally was an icon and a pioneer for young generations in the 90s. A lot of people looked up to him as a movement more than just an artist. He was a lyrical poet, actor, military guy. And to be fair, a lot of people followed him. And there's not many leaders out there again, so we're trying to find leaders as we're talking. And this is for the leaders out there.
You got to do your research, kids.
Yeah. Trust me, this is for the leaders. So again, I'm asking, he came up with this anagram that was thug life. The hate you give little infants F's everybody. Now, has it? We're in 2020. Has the hate that we've given these kids messed us all up? Because these kids, my kids, your kids, we're all our kids are the future. And they're living it right now, their future. And all I see is mess. I see guns, knives, drugs, disease, violence.
We see it every day.
I mean, where do we go from here? So is Tupac right? What, are we living in thug life or is it deeper than that?
Who wants to go first?
I would say nowadays it's slightly deeper than that. Only because I liked what you said. The hate that you give little children is the reason why they'll F you up when they grow older. Now, I want to talk about what exactly is the hate that we give or that's been given to us that's made us rebel as we're older. Because hate is a very negative word and it's very, self-explanatory. But if we was to use a different word instead of the hate that you give little children, what word would you give? Because I would more say...
The impression.
Thank you. The influences, the impressions, like you said, like the things that we used to see whilst we were growing up, the things that we were exposed to. And I feel like that's what F's up the little kids as they grow. Because where I grew up, in my particular neighborhood, things went a certain way. You had to talk a certain way, you had to act a certain way, you had to respect the elders, because if you didn't respect the elders, then consequences. Now, if we're still living in the type of era, I'd hope not. But it is something I still see on a regular basis because a lot of people are still dying. A lot of people are still dealing with knife crimes. A lot of family are still,
They're going through the motions. They're going through things that are affecting communities.
Yeah.
Families, communities, and society as a whole. And I feel that this society has been structured in a way that has given us no choices. We've been directed to become either out for yourself and by any means necessary, or a victim. Scared.
Definitely.
Scared.
Definitely.
Sure.
And there's no in-between, really. Those in-betweeners are trying to find their way and they're doing things, but there's always the scared and then the ones that hate.
To prove a point.
The ones that just hate. They just have no feelings. And to be honest...
Well, that's what it is nowadays, though. You can't be in the middle. You got to be one or the other.
But I'm not a victim and I have feelings. So who am I?
Where does that leave you?
Do you understand? Like, I'm in the middle. And to be fair, I want to be a bridge. I want to be a bridge for those that may not understand how to not be a victim or not understand that they are in that hate, where ultimately they hate themselves. The hate stems from within. You cannot hate anything else if you love yourself and you understand yourself and love things. Sure. Hate just does not exist. So really, truly, the hate stems from themselves. They hate something about themselves or they hate something within themselves. that stems out and emanates against
Right,
the
so
rest.
That leads to why are kids so angry?
Because
on
of the
street
hate.
right now?
Because of the hate that they've been shown within their families, within the society, TV, media, whatever it is, because the hate is a self-inflicted hate. A lot of emos out there. I've seen a lot of children that are self-inflicting pain, and a lot of people are taking to drugs.
But you know what? I hear what you're saying, but a lot of kids grow up with love and they still turn out to do madness. Do you know what I mean? They're still doing crazy things on the roads. So,
but then that tends to be who they hang around with, because sometimes, you know, like
that's part of it.
Because it could be like
definitely part of it.
They could be like a well-behaved kid at home, but then when they go to school and outdoors, they try to prove themselves to be, someone to impress
Trying to impress
others.
people, yeah.
That's a good point. Which leads me to now: has social media aided with the knife crimes, or has it made it worse? Would you say?
No,
not just necessarily knife crimes, but with the hate.
No, I believe that social media has turned and transformed everybody into a walking, talking billboard where they're posting, and everything is all about being accepted, being liked, being bought, buy into me.
It's showing off, basically.
They're selling themselves. Everybody's selling themselves now. And the point is, if no one's buying, your feelings get hurt. You feel away. You realize that nobody does like you.
Well, they're saying everyone wants to be famous now.
Everybody wants to be
That's what they're
famous.
saying.
When you get the fame, you realize it's not exactly what it turned out to be. What you thought it was, it doesn't seem as glamorous when you're living it.
Look how many famous people go to the other side, you know what I mean?
That's right. So
They do,
it's
but-
one hand or the other. You get lost in the fame or you get caught up in the hype trying to get it. But when you realize that you are self-sufficient and you're good enough, and like, for instance, back in the day, people used to be okay with having five friends or 2 friends or even a best friend. Now, if you got 1,000 friends, 1 million
You need
friends.
a whole army.
Like, back in the day, people would be happy with their own achievement. They'll write a lyric and they'll be like, this lyric is good. And they'll put it down. Now, if everybody don't like it on YouTube, they're having a bad day. Do you know what I'm saying? They're having a bad day. They need to be liked by the world. They don't even need to be liked by their friends or their family anymore. It's just the world they're looking
But you know
at.
about post, delete, then repost again.
Exactly.
If you don't get the likes.
So social media has definitely opened the doors for insecurities tenfold, because everybody's trying to be perfect. Everybody's trying to cosmetically enhance
their body.
themselves, not only physically but mentally as well.
But guess what?
Now everybody's a genius.
But guess
now
what?
everybody's got phones that they're genius now.
But guess what? No one's perfect. No one's perfect. Even if they get the cosmetic surgery done,
That's right.
you still see something's wrong with them.
Yeah, so it never stops. Yes,
Can I elaborate on something?
Exactly.
Would you guys then agree that in each generation, no matter, you could be born in the 60s, 50s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, would you say that in each generation it's just literally a different level of competition? I.e., me growing up, it was about the streets. What type of name you have, what type of clout, as these youngsters will use now, that you carry in the streets. But I was simply in the streets. Or you fade in the streets when people see you. Do you understand? Did they know you by name? But I feel like in this generation now, it's social media. That's the new platform.
But it's still the
that we've
same.
been
You're still
given to
getting your
compete.
name out there.
But with social media, it allows you to get your name internationally, if you get what I'm trying to say. In the streets, you're only known in your community. That's literally just stayed in your community. If you're from North, if you're a bad man in North, in South, you're nobody. That's how it was, if you get what I'm trying to say. But
It depends on the level.
If you
Yeah.
become known, you become known from your works.
Yeah,
from your
and-
actual works, not from illusion.
not from...
Everything is illusion nowadays. Everything is on screen, on paper, not facts. And then when you see facts, people want to boast about the facts now. People say, look, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing it, because look. And then now just exposing their whole life on social media. Do you understand? I've seen many
mad.
people go jail because of social media.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure, yes.
Of course.
So it's one hand or the other.
They're
People
watching.
either lie
Remember that, they're
or they
watching.
just tell too much. You understand? So social media is a trap. Internet, it's the net. They caught us, but it's also a network. Connects. We need to connect and we need to link up and meet and intermingle. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of one and six of the other. But you have to kind of do it in a physical, human way, not in a robotic, artificial illusion. Because most of the time, people have friends and they don't even know them. People get catfished so many times. People go online and talk to this guy that wants to help them and this person that wants to do something for them, and they're robbing them. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fraud online. There's a lot of fraud in social media. There's a lot of dangers.
Definitely.
But there's also the good things, and we have to know, we just have to be aware. Awareness is the key, because I don't want to say that social media or internet or any kind of networking is bad.
Yeah.
There's bad in everything, but there's also good. You have to take the good and use the good. So back to the thug life, the thug could be a bad thing, but then also it could be interpreted as a person who does what they want, a person who doesn't actually care about the rules and makes new rules and sets trends and pioneers. Pioneers have been known to be thugs. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of the trendsetters, the people that didn't listen and conform, the rebels. The rebels set pace. So I'm not saying that sometimes it's always the bad thing. Sometimes you need to do something, you need to destroy to rebuild. But it's what you're destroying and what you're rebuilding. And my point is, there's an agenda, and behind that agenda, I don't see the rebuilding of community. I see just destruction and no community.
Yeah, because everyone's out for themselves now, so no one's gonna link up. You know what I mean?
At the same time, you need to realize, you know, like if I go back to my childhood, I remember I had my parents, I had my neighbors, we knew almost everybody. And if my parents had to go somewhere, they will leave us with the neighbors or somebody. They look after each other. But these days, how the system is, you know, everybody's working so hard, long hours. You know, you have to, you know, and therefore, like, there's no choice but to go to work and make a living to pay the bills. So therefore, all the kids get kind of, you know, like after school, the parents have no choice but to put them on a kids club or somewhere, because nobody else has the time anymore. You know, so again, this is like, you know...
But this is where society has given the adults no time to look after their children. So the children are left to the state. The children are being looked after by the state, and the state is doing what they want.
It's not us, you know, it's the way the government made it. We got to work. If
That's
we don't
why
work, we don't
it's an
eat.
agenda.
You know what I mean?
But as parents, as humans, as a community, as a society, we are the state. We're not a communist system. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
We are the people, and the people are responsible. But they've lost responsibility because of ignorance, laziness, and lack of attitude. Because they would rather give responsibility away. It's too hard. I don't want to think about it. It's not. I'd rather have fun. I'd rather drown my own sorrows. I'd rather.
But that's another thing, though. Would you say that nowadays the system has given us, or given parents, in this, because we're talking about parents, a lot of getaways, should I say, escape routes to not take care of their responsibility?
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course. And people grab it with two hands, because why don't they? Listen, people are trying to create robots to live their life for them.
Yeah.
People want to sit down and let a robot do everything because they're lazy. People want the easy life.
Come on, look at Alexa.
That's right. But hard work is what made us. Everything comes from hard work. Without
Manual
hard
labour.
work, we are nothing. If we become lazy, at least work your mind. Do you know what I mean? If you're not working your body, at least
course.
work your mind. Work something. Work your heart. Work that
definitely.
muscle.
Come on.
Show some love or compassion. Do
have to.
something. Don't be a lazy, good for nothing, selfish, ignorant.
Tell them, man.
So all I'm saying is there is a way that we can change, because we are society. We are the people. We as a people can make a difference. It starts with one. It starts with two. It starts with many. It starts with all of us. One man can't make a difference. But one man can make a difference to a next man, and the next man can make a difference to the next man, and the next woman can make a difference to her next woman. And you know,
Definitely.
we can make a difference. So I'm just saying, thug life, love life. That's all I know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I hear you fully.
Yeah.
I hear you fully.
So what can we do that's better to, for example, this what can we do to better the thug life situation? Because from what you've told me, it seems like given the world a platform to connect and to combine has proven to be the wrong choice every single time. So now if a nation, if different cultures, if there can't be diversity in a world where everyone can be put under one roof and there's no understanding, or there will forever be jealousy, or there will forever be envy, or it will forever be why her, or but why not me? How can we then improve as a community, as people, as, you know, the world? Like, how do we...
I personally believe that everybody has their role, and everybody has their talent, and everybody has their speciality and their skill. Everybody wants to be a chef when they're supposed to be a plumber. Everybody wants to be a captain when they're supposed to be a shipmate, or they're supposed to be all hands on deck. They want to be the deck. Do you know what I'm saying? They want to stack the deck. They don't understand their role. Everybody wants to be something else that they're not. They want to be what they are not. Rather than becoming who they are, rather than embracing who they are and becoming that to the truest and becoming that to the best of their ability, they want to pretend that there's something else. Most people do this. This is the problem. Ego. Ideas that come and they run with it. Rather than trying to understand their strengths and their weaknesses and working on them, making their strengths become like breathing, their strengths become normal, nothing. Then they can work on their weaknesses and make their weaknesses be strengths. But before that, you can't work on your weaknesses and your strengths are just getting left behind, and then you're telling me that your weaknesses are your strength. To me, that's ridiculous. And that's what the world does. Everybody wants to be the rapper, the actor, the superstar, the athlete, the runner.
Definitely.
Nobody
Most
wants to
definitely.
actually just do what they do.
Yeah.
But
Do you understand?
sometimes it just basically they just see that if you're a rapper, they see that, oh, bling bling, you know, big car,
The
big money.
materialistic thing.
So because
They want the
everyone's-
easy life. They
but-
don't want to work hard.
but
Because
then
they don't
again-
understand it's hard work to do all of those things.
It is, but they don't see that. They just see the pictures on Facebook or
That's
you
right.
know, Instagram. They don't see that. No one puts the failures
Behind the scenes
You
work,
know,
they don't see
no
that.
one put that.
That's right.
So therefore, like, all the kids think, yeah, if I become
Yeah.
a YouTuber, if I become
Instant
a singer,
success, instant fame, millionaire.
so, because that's what they see online, and so therefore, I think again, everyone's going to make mistakes, and it's just a guidance that's missing. I think to tell the kids, look, like, do what you love, enjoy your school days, do what you love, and get outside and do some physical activities and stuff. So
Definitely.
I think now everyone's got used to, like, even I as a parent, I'm wrong in doing that, because there are times I'm busy, I just give them an iPhone or an iPad. Then I know
We're
the
all
kids will
guilty.
be
We're all
quiet, they'll be happy. And so we get into this, routine, and everyone accepts that,
Yeah.
because no one says anything bad about it.
It's become the norm. And what we can't do is let terrible things become the norm. We can't let knife crime and murders become the norm. We can't let kids getting kidnapped or disappearing to go and sell drugs in the countryside as the norm. We can't see people walking around and looking at other people in problems or in danger or even dying on the street and then turning their
Taking out
head
the
like nothing
camera.
happened or even filming it
Yeah.
like it's the norm. That is not normal. We're humans. We're not animals. Do you know what I mean? Society, where is it?
I think it's going back to your point of loving yourself. You got to start loving yourself. Then and only you will show that love to the others.
That's right.
So again, everyone's lost. Like, therefore there should be like someone, to guide them or show the right way. Say, look, let's start this.
Another thing is,
so-
we see each other as competition. That's another thing that's wrong with society right
Definitely.
now. Yeah? Everyone's trying to compete.
Definitely. And the
You
truth is,
understand?
it's always going to be one or the other. If man ain't competing, then man are trying to actually sabotage because man are scared to succeed. Do what I'm saying? It's either you're scared to succeed or you want to succeed above the next man. You don't want to succeed with a man. You want to be better. Like, there's always that saying, you want to be the most powerful person in the room, or the richest man in the place, or the you know what I'm saying, the cleverest man. Like, everybody, ego controls, ego rules. When you rule your ego, when you control that and realize, you know what, I can always be better. I can always be better. I'm only in competition with myself. And what anybody else does is on their terms and on their levels.
Follow your own path. Everyone's got their
I'm
own path
only in
to follow.
competition with myself, because guess what? I can always do better and improve. If I believe I'm there and I'm the best, I'm arrogant. That means I'll never get better, and I'm always going to get worse because I'm the best. Yeah, you feel confident. Have confidence in your but don't ever feel that you have reached your peak, because that's when you will go down.
Come on, bro.
When you reach the peak of the mountain, where else do you go?
And that brings me back to music, bro. Like, back in the day, like, we all thought he was the best, the rapper. You know what I mean? In the same crew, but we all individually thought he was the best rapper.
But you see,
know what I mean?
when we're young, we have that testosterone. We have that ego. We really want to prove
that's
ourselves.
good competition, though.
It is.
That was good competition.
Trying to prove ourselves is normal in the world. But when you're trying to prove yourself in the wrong way, or to the wrong people, to people that already accepted you, do you know what I'm saying? It's irrelevant now. It's just you're trying to prove a point that doesn't need to be made. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like saying, brother, you know I'm better than you. Like, why would I say that? Like, what am I trying to do? Make you feel bad? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so really and truly, I would rather say that, brother, what you're doing is great, you know? I love what you're doing. And you're inspiring me to do better. Do you understand?
That's what it is. People don't want to show love nowadays.
Do you understand?
You know it? That's what it is. People don't want to show love. Behind doors, they're liking it, but in front of your face, it won't give you the ratings that you deserve. You know
But again, that's all down to lack of confidence in talking in real life, because they're all hiding behind the screen, doing their whatever. But when you meet somebody in real life, they actually don't know how to react.
Computer thugs. Back to the thug life.
So,
are we living in thug life? Yes, because
Keyboard
if you're not a thug
Yes,
in real
yes.
life,
There
you're
you
a
go.
thug on the
See me hanging, though.
you definitely got some wicked talk behind closed doors. And this is the point. Everybody wants to talk or sound or act or feel like they're bad. Bad is good now. Bad is actually good. The devil's actually great. The devil is in control. The devil, if you believe in him or if you don't, it's cool to be devilish, and it always has for a long time.
It's been in music for years, man. It's been in music for years.
But right now, it's taking over our kids, where kids don't even care about going to jail anymore. They see it as a rite of passage. They see it as stripes. I've earned my soldier stripes. When you're not a soldier, you don't know what a soldier is. And even soldiers, a lot of them don't even want to be soldiers, because they're realizing that soldiers are just cannon fodder. And that's what you've become, cannon fodder.
But none of these youths out here are soldiers. I'll tell you that now.
I know.
They couldn't go and fight in the real war.
No way. And the fact is,
They
they're
don't
scared.
want to go, you know.
Many of them are
Tell them
scared.
to go to Afghanistan.
Exactly.
They don't want to fight. They don't want to kill, man. Really.
No.
don't understand
not
what
really.
it's all, man, really.
But what it
Not
is,
really.
it's fair. And for a show, they don't see it as real until it becomes real. Do you know what I'm saying? When it becomes real, it's like, oh, I actually did it. Raw. Now I'm in jail. No. My life. You know what I'm saying?
Behind the cell doors crying and that.
Exactly.
We know, man. Come on, we know how it is.
But I just think that there needs to be much help for the kids nowadays. So even for the parents, all it takes is maybe 10 minutes. Like, you come from work and
10 minutes to do what?
Just 10 minutes just to talk to your kid. Because
interact.
Can I be honest, and not to cut you, but this is going to sound a bit harsh, but this is the reality that we're living in now. Parents a lot of parents nowadays haven't even finished growing themselves, let alone learn how to raise a child.
Fact.
They are still children themselves. They still want to have fun, just the way their child wants to have fun. They still want to have a babysitter to just deal with everything, so they can go have fun. So for you to give them 10 minutes, to them it's like, what's 10 minutes? I've given them my whole life. Yep. I've given them my childhood.
That's
Do you
attitude
understand?
they
That's why a
have,
lot of
yeah.
them, as soon when their child turns 1 or old enough for them to be looked after by somebody, I need to have my fun. I still need to live my life, and I feel like that's everybody's reason. And you see, that's all fun and games when the child's young. But you see, when the child grows up now, they're gonna want to live their life,
hate you
and they're
give
going to realize that, mommy,
little infants.
just the way you left me to go live your life, I'm going to live my life now.
Because that's what they see as normal.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
in their environment. you
And
know,
I feel
so-
like it's very biased to say and very cliche to say, oh, stop having kids young. But
Okay, so do we agree that it's the parents then? Do we agree that it starts and stems with the parents?
Starts at home.
it
starts
We know
definitely
this.
does.
It definitely starts at
It
home.
definitely does. And if it's not the parents, then it's the community, like where
But
the child
they
is
say
raised.
it takes a village to raise a child, but nowadays the village has been dismembered. So there is no village. There's just isolated buildings,
Yeah.
isolated houses of people. that
Just the odd few.
Neighbors don't even know each other no more.
Yeah.
You
And
look
they
at your
don't wanna
neighbor,
get
you
to know
just
each other no more.
turn your head straight. Don't even say hello.
I'm
You know what I mean?
guilty.
It's just
I
terrible.
do the same thing. I'm not
This
gonna
is
lie.
London. London is terrible. When it comes to neighborly community love or any kind of, I don't know, in the suburbs, it might be different, but in the urban areas, woo,
It's
you live in a
hard.
flat and you don't even know the people that live above you, below you, next to you, side to side. Don't matter. Like, you see them every day and you don't want to talk to them because, boy, there might be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
When's the last time your neighbour asked you for sugar?
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
or even trust you to get your sugar.
Mad.
Yeah.
Wouldn't trust it nowadays.
No,
But
it's true.
I want to be able to say hello to my neighbors, and I try to. I'm guilty sometimes of not interacting, and I feel bad afterwards. Afterwards, I feel bad, like I want to turn back, but it's too late now. And I've tried to learn and train myself to smile and say hello to people and just be a pleasant person in any kind of surroundings, especially in your neighborhood, especially when you see people daily. Because, come on, if you can't be loved in your own community, in your own family, in your own heart, there's a problem.
Preach it, brother.
There's a problem.
Tell them.